Whoa, it's me, JR. I'm back, man. That's just kind of loud. A little loud. Sound check, sound check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, let's let this British lady do what she does.
WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacy and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to Uncommon Place.
How are y'all doing today? It's me, JR. I'm back with this episode. We're going to be talking about how am I going to return to podcasting after having open heart surgery, which was successful. Very proud of that. And then to all my naysayers, I just got this for you guys. Crickets. That's crickets. I know I'm messing with the sound effects a little bit here and there. And yes, whoever's watching this video, you are getting it in 4K. That was a fake gang symbol right there. So let's just cut to the nitty gritty and let's just get started here. And shout out to Rode. I'm using Rodecaster Pro 2. You can see it right in front of me. The video is not the best video, but it is in 4K. So I hope you enjoy that. Let's get started. The first thing I had to do when coming back to podcasting was this. I always have a lot of episodes in the background that I can use because I do record like Tupac. I like to get a lot of episodes done so that I don't have any excuse not to have shows done. So as I'm sitting here and I'm waiting to decide on what type of guest to bring on and what to do, the most interesting thing that's happened is that I have actually been told that the smartest thing for me to do at this moment is what I'm doing right now. Do the story of your comeback. Like, what are you doing different? Are you focusing on one podcast more than the other? So let's go with this first. Sparrows Under Review has been recorded to an extent where we're covering 06, 96, all of the decades, that have a zero, a 06 in it. That's what we're covering there. So Stacy and I are able to start building a back catalog for that and keep going from there. So what I'm doing for for WB Uncommon Place, I'm really looking, engaging, what do I want to come back with? What do I want to talk to the audience about? What is going to be a topic that makes sense beyond what's going on with me? How do I get back into the interview forum? How do I make you want to hear about the other people instead of hearing about me? Because I've noticed that the numbers have jumped up a whole lot higher that I'm talking about myself now. Obviously, because I had an injury or something that took me out for a little bit, and it slowed me down just a little bit in speaking because I can't do that fast talk I used to because I still got like a little pleurisy in my lungs. So it's kind of like I get stuck and I'm like, something crazy like that. So going deeper and deeper into this, I'm thinking about like the way that I'm going to come back. I'm going to have some shows on. I'm going to still do my normal curation of what I want the show to be for this point and this and that. And in doing that, that's going to save me a lot of trouble when it comes to how, I go about doing certain things. Like, how am I going to get this done? How do I want to do that? What's important to me as far as like what you want to hear? So I'm going to do some polls and see what people want me to come back and talk about. Obviously, I know a lot to do with video games. That's something that people, they do like to hear about, nostalgia and stuff like that, and the death of physical media, and even the death of cinema. Even though we're having a strong revival of movies, which I will say, last few weeks we have, movies only get like 3-week turnaround time, but that's another story for here nor there. So the next thing that I'm doing is I am working on my cardiovascular health. That's one thing I'll say there. I'm having lots of conversations with different people, trying to get everything worked out and trying to get myself back in the mode and means to produce a great show here. Even though I'm kind of like looking in the background on this show because Sparrows Under Review has finally eclipsed my show. And it's not in a bad way or way that's going to hurt me, but it's in a good way. Like, hey, the show that Stacy and I do together is really good. So let me see what else I can get focused in on. What else can I tap into? What is going to make the world work in a better mode or means for this show? So I'm going to go back and do some more interview shows. I'm going to bring back some posse cuts because people really did appreciate when me and some people would talk about some stuff. Like, I'm going to talk about the roller skating ring. That's going to be something that's really important to me, that I want to talk about. Like, what was your experience at the roller skating ring? What was that like? What was the roller skating ring like for you? So that's one thing that I'm going to do with some people, get it going, get it worked out, and we're going to see how that rolls from there. Latter part of the stuff, I will be talking about professional wrestling because there's a few things I want to talk about there that are hurting me. Just on a side note, they're not going to be shows on Thursday. They're going to be some of the little special projects I do on Saturdays. And after that, I think I'm going to go into a little bit more heavy detail about everything that's gone on with the surgery, because I had what you call a cabbage done, and I had 7 blockages in my heart, which is pretty bad for someone that's 40. And they were able to successfully go in and start taking care of me. Obviously, there's medicines that I have to take to for the rest of my life to stay optimal, but I'm fine with that because I knew what I was getting into once I found out what was wrong with me. And I want to thank my doctor Lockman for actually telling me to go get an echocardiogram and then looking over it twice, saying that she's seen something irregular that the cardiologist didn't see, and then the cardiologist looked at it, and then next thing you know, I'm getting a phone call that I need to hurry and get to a hospital because my heart is about to literally explode to a degree, or it was just really in bad shape. I'd never ever wish this on anyone else. So when it comes to collaborating with people, I have my normal set of podcasters that run with me, and that's how I think I'm going to do it. Like when it comes to like bringing people back and doing things like that, I'll go back to my nostalgic style of those bringing those people on. I have I am no longer part of the media where it comes to being a self help guru or any type of podcasting growth. I am aligned with those people, but I am not in their circle per se. Like I'm not involved in anything that's going on in that realm. So it's kind of foreign not being there because that is where I am from. And just where I've had to take this period and just relax, I've decided that, hey, those people are doing an amazing job with it. So the first thing I want to say on this show is that I'm not leaving that area because I do have a means and ways to help people grow their shows through Snapchat and everything else, the listener migration and things that I do. But I'm going to let somebody else handle that. That's somebody else's job. They do that. They do it fine. And I'm going to help people just like I've been doing for the last year. When they want help, they come to me to get it. I'm like Chinese food. You go eat it, you're fine. That's cool. Uh, enjoy it and love it that way. Also, just on the time of always taking time out for everything else. I'm not going to be selfish, but I want to be a little uh selfish to a degree with my time when it comes to that because I was doing way too much of that, and that is one thing that is a problem with me. Going over the top and going above and beyond sometimes when it's not necessary. And that's something I have to learn. That's something that I wasn't taught. It wasn't something that was just given to me or anything like that. So I'm having to break that habit, even though it's not toxic to me. It is something that has weighed and put stress on me because sometimes I do involve myself in situations where I just need to mind my own business. And that's the hardest thing for some people to do when you're trying to do it in a good nature, not in a way of like, oh, I just want to hurt somebody or I want to do this because of that person. Da, 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 da. Nah, I'm genuinely out there trying to look out for people and stuff like that. And I just got to remember that sometimes it is not my place to do that. It's my place to be there, be cool, be your friend, say, yo, we're people. I'll help you to this extent. And then the rest of the extent, I'm supposed to drop it. So that's what I'm learning to do now. I thank everybody that's allowed me to do that. And I think the family members also that have stuck by me and the ones that are rekindling the relationship with me. And when I say rekindle, I'm not talking about like we left on bad bloods. I'm just talking about as an adult, when you get older, we move into different circles and we start doing things different. And you lose a contact with these people, and then it just becomes an occasion, and then from an occasion it becomes a rarity. And when that happens, it's not that we don't love each other, we don't care about each other. It's that rarity is what we get used to, so we treat everything as a rarity, and that's how we move. And from that point on, we don't do anything else. We just stay there. We don't try to go do anything else or work any harder to rekindle those relationships because we like that stuff. We like it kind of fractured. And I hate to say, I do kind of like it fractured in some cases because when it is fractured, I can work better with the people, and it kind of works with that feel of me being a tumbleweed. I'm here and then I'm gone. So maybe I'm not going to work on every single relationship, but the ones that do mean something to me and the ones that I hold dear to me now, I'm going to make sure that they're good and everything like that. Now, also, some of the series inside of the show will be coming back different, and I will be working on them, and we'll just see like a whole different array of things going on with the show. So, on that note, I'm not going to hold you guys very long. And I have been shooting this stuff in 4K for you guys that want that stuff. I'm using the DVI connected right to the Rodecaster, which you see right here, Rodecaster Pro 2. And it's making an amazing video, and it's capturing this amazing sound. So let me let that British lady take us out of here.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Just dancing.
Hit up the merch store at oncommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.